All right. So we're gonna do the signature bug I do for Musky Fool. I'm gonna show y'all how I tie it. I'm gonna break it down for you, and we're gonna talk about the advantages of materials and the disadvantages of some materials, and the advantages of having a brush-based fly when dealing with toothy fish like pike and muskie. All right, and that can go to other places too, in the salt and things too. So this is just an example of what we're doing. We're going to be doing a different colorway and stuff, but yeah, here it is. It's a bucktail base, squimpish for length. Just some feathers in the tail for this one. We're going to do feathers and flash in the tail for this one. Sometimes you can do just, sometimes I do just squimpish. You can do whatever you like. And then, yeah, and that's it. We're going to do, we'll talk about the design frame part of it when we get to the vise, but let's just let's build the brush first. Because the whole fly is a brush, right? So there's no let's build the brush. So ingredients: trashy bucktail, right? Trashy bucktail. If you're not tying musky flies with the bottom of the barrel bucktail, trout flies too. If you're not tying trout flies and musky flies with bottom of the barrel bucktail, you're screwing. You're doing it wrong. All right. Squimpish, because it rules. And then I'm gonna do some nightmare musky in the body, and a little bit in the head too. We're gonna do some nightmare musky flies, wavelength, and then head is gonna be strung fuzzy fiber. All right. So wire size, large size dubbing brush wire, 0.009. We're going to start on this side here and do a wrap here, and then spin it. Keep it tight, pinched as tight as you can to that, right, like that. Don't let that spinning, don't let the overlap of the wire get too long, because it's going to start cutting into your brush length, right? You want to keep that tight, right? So you want to pinch that really tight right there when you spin it. But you want to leave a long tag, right? Always leave a long tag when you're dealing with wire on the table, right? Because if you leave short tag, if you try to cut it off short, you're just going to stab the shit out of your fingers, all right? You're going to be bleeding all over the place. I'm telling you, it's not cool. You got to leave a little bit of wire. Bring it over here. Now we're going to wrap it around here. Now, this is the tensioner side, right? So we're going to pull it a little bit, right? So now the spring's under tension, right? So this wire's as tight as it can go, right? Now we're going to lock off, right? Like that, and hang up, all right? So now our wire's under tension, right? Don't just come over here and wrap it around, because your wire's going to be all loosey-goosey. We don't want that. Where's my wax? Some dumbing brush wax on here. This, I tie hundreds of these for the shop, so I want to make sure everything is, as uniform as possible here. So we have our marks here. Don't pay attention to these. That's something else. These two here. This is going to be our the rear brush, and this is going to be the shoulders and the head. Yeah. This mark right here is where we're going to start building our head. Yeah. So it's shoulders here, head, right? Body, shoulders, head. Everything's marked out, so every fly is going to be the same. Yeah. Always start with bucktail. I'm going to start with bucktail here. So, with these, so when like this is a fresh tail, so I'm going to start around here, right? And then moving forward, I'm going to work. See, you can use the different. Those of you that know about the properties of bucktail, right? Like, you know that hollow down here is hollow, right? Very hollow. The hair is hollow. So there's a chance if you put this hair close to the end of the brush where it's tightest, where it gets tightest, it might cut it quicker, right? So you got to keep that in mind, right? So that's hair you might want to save for the middle, right? So the hair, adversely, the hair up here, right, is stiffer, right? So if you're going to put it, right, maybe you want to put it in your shoulders, right? Because that's going to give your fly more, yeah? Or if you don't want more and you want a thinner profile fly, maybe don't put it there, yeah? I like a little bit of it there, personally. But, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as I can here. Whilst explaining as thoroughly as I can here. So I can pinch it between my fingers here, right? Kind of line it up. Spread it out, right? So what I go for is a nice uniform layer, right? That's not... Where's my comb? I need my comb. Always comb it out after I move it, right? So I want a nice uniform layer that's not clumpy, right? You can have a little bit of, like, you see, like, your hair is a little bit more. That's fine. We can deal with that later. But what you don't want is big clumps, right? You definitely don't want big clumps. You want to like just a one little of hair, all right? Now, in the back here, we're gonna see when you put it down, then you can start moving it around and poking it around, right? But what you want to do with the purpose of when you cut it, you want to cut it off the tail and then arrange it in your fingers, and then you can get it into a better, you know, the final position when you put it down. And then again, too, it doesn't have to be super precise because we're going to be laying squimpish on top, and the brush is going to get so tight that we're never, you know what I mean? If there's a little gap there, you're never really going to notice. You'll never see it. It'll disappear right into the brush, right? But so I'm just doing. I'm gonna do, no, we'll do it like this here. No, the bucktail will sometimes curl a certain way, and knowing that the brush is going to be wrapped in a certain direction, if you want the hair to lay back like that, you might want to think about laying the hair in like that. If you put it the other way, it might be more, you might get more flare in the final product. Kind of use that curl to your advantage. Now we're going to keep, for this back section, we're going to keep a uniform layer right beneath, like kind of beneath the wire here, because when that wraps up, it's going to double over. Now we're going to have a little core there, right, which is what we want, right? And then moving forward, we're going to increase that core length, and that core, that's what gives you your shoulders, and that's where, because if a fly doesn't have shoulders, it's not going to swim, right? If it's just like a long snake, it's just going to be, it's not going to do what you want. So you want to, you always want to have shoulders in your fly. Here. So let's do, so you see how, like, I'm short like a little tiny bit? You can move over, you know what I mean? You can move, but I'm just gonna do a little pinch here. We're gonna start the other color here. Yeah. All right. So moving forward, Now I'm grabbing, as I'm moving forward here, now I'm grabbing a little bit more. Like I have more hair than I was using back here. I'm increasing kind of the density a little bit, not by a lot, just a little bit. And because we want to also have density moving forward too. Like I'm not spreading it out as much as I am, right? Like it's going to be a little. All right, now we're going to start to build our shoulders taper too, right? So we're going to start to come down this hair here. Like I said, I'm taking this from up here, right? Because I want that kind of, you know, to give me some width in the fly. One more pinch, I think, and we can start laying in our squimpish. Or no, we'll do the head next. Do the head next. Do the squimpish. Okay, there we go. Like I said, you want to have mostly, you want to have most of your hair going up and down. If you have a couple little ones that are just coming off like this, that's fine. You don't want any like real X's going on, okay? But yeah, that should be plenty for bucktail. That should be good. Yeah. Now let's do our head. So we're gonna use strung fuzzy fiber here. Trying to think of alternatives you could use. You could use something like, I don't know, maybe like Congo hair stiffened with something. Or you could use like, I don't know, I just always use this stuff because it's great. So, I just quartered it, and I'm just spreading it in between my fingers again like that. And now what I'm going to do is, instead of like rip stacking it and doing all that stuff like I used to now I just take it, right, and just go like this between your fingers, right? Just go like that. And now all I'm doing is going like that, right? And what it does is it just, see, it tapers it, right? Now when you comb it, it'll be all tapered out, right? So first one I kind of do more, and then the next one here we'll do a little bit the other way. I'll show you. When I comb this stuff, I like to pinch it really tight with my fingers on both sides, and then put it against my leg here, and then push the comb into it, and really get a good comb out on it. All right. One more pinch of this. When I said quartering it, what I'm doing is that's the full length, so I'm bending it in half, right? Cutting it, and then making a quarter, right? And cutting it again, evening up the ends, well, you don't have to be even, it's just kind of, and then cutting it like that. And again here, and just roughing it up a little bit, and just pinching it on one side here. Now I'm going to lay it against my leg and comb out that long side. Now I'm flipping it over, grabbing where I combed out, right? And then like this. Now I'm going to do the same thing again. Now, because the head here, I have these scissors that are like curved, right? So what I do is I like to take off that, whoop, and like that. Oh, I wasn't looking and I did it shitty, but yeah, like that. Make a little for the front of the brush. It just kind of saves me a little time later on having to trim them all. These are from what I do mostly, like when I do 400 at a time. So yeah, there we go. So let's do Squimpish now. Squimpish. And the colors, you can do anything on these that you want. There's, the possibilities are pretty much infinite, much like the rigging. When we get to the vise, I'll show you what I'm talking about. With this Squimpish, I just cut it straight off, right? So what I do is I'll just use the longest here, right? The longest one down. And now the next longest one here. Lay it down like this. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for a uniform length here. And then this one down here. And when I start shorting out, right, when I start getting shorts here, I'll just put this away. Go for a little more here. Now, if you were going to do these maybe on a smaller scale, you could use something like I'm going to cough. Excuse me. Oh, pardon me. Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, forget that. Forget what I was talking about. But just when I do big batches of these, I like loose fiber Squimpish because you get the most flies out of the bunch of this. With this one, the shorts, you're gonna have to put to the side. You could use them for trout flies and smaller pike flies. You could even use them to layer in the middle if you don't. You could use them for different other things. Same deal here. Just put this here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about here. You can put some shorts in the front here just to get us a little more density here. So we're good with one side here. Now let's just, what I like to do is just put some intermittent length into the other side. Maybe one more nice pinch spread across the whole way. And that should be plenty of Squimpish. Very good. Yeah, that'll be plenty. All right. Let us some flash in here. Oh, I just bumped this thing. Are we still good? Okay. Sorry. I have a little bit of a precarious system here. So this stuff, I'm just gonna lay some in here. This is too much here. that's it. Now, grab my wax here. Okay, so bring this over here. We're gonna wax this up here. Pinch this here, slide that underneath. Pinch it again. Pinch it super tight like you did before. Good turns on it here. Put the wire here. Now, important things to notice really quick before we start spinning this too. Look at our taper here, right? You see how our shoulders come up halfway, like almost halfway up, right? That is, I can't stress enough how important it is to build a taper. If you're going to try to do this, is to build a taper into your fly, right? That's super, super, super important. So, okay, now we're going to drop our thing here. I like to pinch in the middle here. Some good wraps on here. I start counter spinning here. Get some good counter spins here. Stop the front. Get some good counter spins and then catch the front up a little bit. Should be pretty good for a brush now. Where's my brush? Where's my... Oh, it's okay. First brushing is light and easy. We're just trying to make sure we get all that squimpish on track and that bucktail aligned. The head, you can go a little bit rougher on the synthetics, but just be easy with that first brush there. Now we're gonna spin it up more. Now I'm always keeping being cognizant of the space here, right? Because that's going to tell me how tight and how much tension I have on everything, right? So like you spin this front. The front is pretty good now. I think the front is pretty much where it's at. So but I do want to get some more here. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but we need tension here, or we need, we need more tight. We need to tighten up here. So I want to tighten there, but I don't want to tighten the rest of the brush because I might, like, it's bucktail, so you got to be careful. You might think. So what I'm going to do is put this, just pause this, hold the tension there with my scissors there, put it. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and if I don't normally, if I was by myself, I just put my elbow over here and just grab it like that. But I need both my hands to kind of explain here. So we could pinch here, right? And now just spin the back, right? And I can feel how tight that gets, right? And you can almost hear it, right? You can almost hear the point where it starts to cut the hair. And that's where you want to stop, right? And it's right about there. So we're going to comb this out. Yeah, this is fine. Get a little bit more. A little dangerous. All right, that's it though. All right, no more. So now I'm going to take tension off, right? And then cut. Cut that. Take this off. And let's go to the vise. Now you're gonna have to hold on. Now I'm gonna try not to make you sick. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this pretty easily, right? Okay. Put this here. I can't switch it around mid-video? Oh, that's dumb. Okay, so we're going to come back here. And I'm going to do my best to try to... Let me get this in the vise and then I'll try to line it up for you. Make sure everything's in focus here. So. Use this as a focus test here. Just bear with me a second. There. Whoa. Alright. I think that'll be okay. Alright. So, when it comes to rigging these, okay, you can do a ton of different things, right? Like you can do, you know, a TP6, like I like a TP610, right? But like you can do a single hook, right? Whatever single hook you want. You can do a shank off the back, yeah. Leave this open for split rings, right? For for swingers in case you want a tail stinger, you know, in the back. You can do tubes, right? Like salmon fly guys use in tube. Run it through with wire, tie a knot in the wire, you know, or loop, perfection loop. Leave a loop so you can put a stinger, you know, and then wrap this around there and wrap the brush around this and then, you know, tie the wire down. Or you glider shank, right? And that's what we're going to do today, is a glider shank. And we're just going to make sure everything is... I'll make sure everything is in frame. Hold on one second. Okay. Looks like we're good. Alright. Close this up here. Thread I'm using is 140 UTC Ultra thread. I just stabbed myself with my scissors. I used to, my crazy glue's in my car. Crap. Okay. Well, we can use varnish. That's fine. Normally I'd use crazy glue, but it's in my car, like I said. Way too far in this video to stop and go back, but we're just going to use some varnish here. And this is going in my box, so if anybody's got any words or whatever, they can just... Alright, so just make sure that this is good and tight. So I used to tie these with mono, you know, I like tying with mono. And then I came to the conclusion one day that the advantages of mono when you're doing things like, you know, bucktail work with like, you know, hollows and beast flies and stuff, all that stuff is lost. All the advantages of the thread, the mono thread, are lost when you're doing this, right? It's like, why do I need that? So I went to 210 denier, the Flymaster, and it was okay, but it's like kind of bulky. It's like big, right? So I jumped down to 140, and now I use 140, and it works just fine. So first thing I'm going to do is just tie in a little sprig of bucktail just as a spreader here to my tail doesn't clump up on me, and I can get some you know, a little bit of dam out in the back here. You know what we're gonna do too? Though, actually, we're gonna do a little bullet tie, some squib fish, real quick, just a little small light, little, very small little, just to make it more cohesive. All right. Okay. So we're just gonna do a little easy little bullet tie with not that much squib fish here, just a little bit here. A little quick little thing here. Put this around. This doesn't have to be exact at all. Just, you know. It's fine. Oh, 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 went too far. Okay, let's do feathers here. Just feathers that are taken from various saddles that I have, and they're all taken at full length, or as fullest to the length as that you possibly can. That's going to give you the most benefit out of the feather, right? There's a certain rigidity in the feathers built into the base of them, natural kind of rigidity. And if you take that away and you just cut from the front of the feather, or from here, and then try to tie it in, it's lost upon you. This one I'm just laying flat on top. All right, glue, right? I'll do it here. I'll put the name glue. Little flash here. Put it on the side here. Put the flash on the side. Just bring that over to your side. Tie that in over there. Tie that in down there. Just kind of use the thread to manipulate it down there on your side here. Alright, looks fine, right? Yeah. Okay. Alright, rear of the brush here. Tie this in here. Tie it in forward like that, and then fold that back, right? Because all wire tags, you want to fold them rearward because we stroke the flies, right? And you're gonna, like I said, stab the living shit out of yourself if you don't do that. A lot of times, you don't even need to, there's this little tag here. I could just leave it in there. Nobody's gonna ever see it. The fish is never gonna see it. I'm the only person that knows it's there, but you do too now. So I can't leave it in there. But if I was by myself, shh. Okay, so that's tied in with a rear-facing tag. We can advance our thread forward here. We're gonna try to get to about here. Make a little thread base. You want to always have a little something in the rear part of the fly, right? You always want to make a thread base up until about here. Okay, from here forward, you're going to wrap your brush naked on the shank. And we'll talk about that when we get there. But you want to always have a thread base for something for it to grip on in the rear sections of the fly. Vice grips, the smallest ones they make, these small tiny vice grips with some foam glued in the jaws. All right, you can grab that. Just kind of stroke everything back. I like to wind towards myself because then when I tie it off, I counter wrap the other. The thread goes the other way, and I think that to me makes a strong connection. You could do whatever you want. Yeah, this is what we're doing here. Now, when it gets to the point where I can use my finger there to hold the material back, I do, right? So now you can kind of go, now we want to brush out. Where's my brush? I am pulling down with my thread and up on this brush, on this the end of the brush. Yeah, that's gonna tighten everything up. Now release. All right, I got it. Yeah, I've got the end of the brush. It's not going anywhere. All right, but you'll put like two. Now it's really not going anywhere. Now take that excess material, fold the excess material back. See where I'm at here? Now take that, push it down with my finger there. Get on top of it, right? Get on top of it. Make a little thing on top of it there. All right. Pull that forward. Cut this off. All right. Now tie in our second brush here. Pull that back. Get on top of it. All right. You can make a little base there, but then we're just gonna go straight to the front here. Right now, I usually do a little whip here, and just to hold it, make sure it doesn't slip. You'll see the reason why I use like almost naked shank up here is because when we get there, if our brush comes up short, because basically the name of the game here from here forward is density, right? We want density, and I keep saying we, like it's like what? Why do I keep saying it? I I leave this naked because if I go up here and I still have brush left, you can push it back, pack it down, and then keep going forward, right? So you can pack more brush on than when you think you're out of room, you're not, right? Like you always have more leeway there, right? This is the last one before I jump forward in front of the dropper here. So I'm going to go over the top like that, and then like that. Yeah. Fold everything back here. Now I can forward a little bit here. Push this out here. Yeah, this is kind of like the updated video version of this. The older one, the other video is kind of older now, so some of there's a lot of techniques that have been updated and stuff, you know. So that's the way we're doing it now. Here, this is the way we're doing it now. So. Yeah, see, like, say to yourself, August, you're right here. You only have a little bit left, and you have all that brush left for the head. It's like, yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna run all the way up as much as I can here. Use up as much as I can. Comb it out here. Now I'm going to just grab it here, and if you're doing this with a hook, please be careful. I got this just a shank, so I can put it, but I'm gonna use my might and I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna use my strength, all my strength, to rip my blouse. I'm gonna push that back there using my strength. Go forward now more. Right? Go all the way up to the front, right behind that barrel. Brush this out a little bit here. Now push it back just a little bit more. Perfect. This one came out perfect. Okay. Boom. See? Right there behind that barrel. Bring my thread over. Come around. Be careful, that barrel's got a sharp little nubbin on it there. But I actually have to be very careful of. Okay. Here we go. So that's another good thing about these. You can just let go. It's fine. All the tension's still there. It's not. You're not losing all that much tension, right? I'm gonna come back around. I'm gonna do the same thing I did before. Down with the thread and up and with these. Nice little thread. Secure in the front and the back. I push it, tie it behind it, and then push it, or tie it in front of it, and then push it back, and then push it forward again. So it's locked in, you know. I don't know, I hope that made sense. And then there's just a little tag here. Cut up here. And that's it. I'm going to take it out of the vise here, and I'm going to brush it out with the dog brush, and then I'm going to go wet it and hang it up. And then I'm going to put some 10 mil eyes on it, which you're not going to see in this video because I have to do it after I soak it, but you'll see it in the thumbnail, and that'll be what will suck you in. But you can picture it because you've seen the thumbnail. All right. Put a little varnish on here because I left my crazy glue in the car. Yeah. Alright. Now, you won't be able to picture it, really, because it's kind of, well, you might, but yeah, that's this is it. This is the fly. And put a dropper on there and call it a day. All right. Did I grab it right? So yeah, that's it. All right. Maybe could have gone a little bit heavier with the squimpish up front, but it's fine. It'll still swim fine. Nothing wrong. That's just my own critique. I don't like anything I tie personally. You probably might be the same. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. So you'll see it in the thumbnail. It'll look pretty cool. But thanks for watching.